Greetings, goons, gangsters, and gamers. It's your boy, the Good Sir Knight, and today we're doing a review that's gonna combine sort of like moving from the old into the new. So, previously, you had the 3 Bs. I don't know why 3 Bs is funny. It sounds like bees, but there's only 3 of them. Beans, bullets, and band-aids. Beans being your, do you got food? Can you keep moving? You can include water in that. Do you have freedom seeds, bullets? Can you, resist the enemy? And band-aids. Are you in good health, able to continue fighting? So, we got German 3 going on here. That's fine. Beans, bullets, band-aids. That was the classic. But I think we're going to be adding one more to it, which is today's review on batteries. And more importantly, how to carry batteries. So previously, back in the day, you didn't need a whole lot of batteries, hence the 3 Bs. But people love logistics. I don't know why. It's a snooze fest for your average person. But ultimately, logistics do win wars. Obviously, if you don't got bullets, you're going to have a really hard time stopping the enemy. Not impossible, but very, very difficult. If you don't have food, out, done. No, you can't move without food. You die without food. So food's kind of a big deal in every situation forever. And obviously, band-aids. You want to be in good health. If you're not in good health, if you're sickly, you're not doing a whole lot of fighting. So, with all that said, back in the day, running things that didn't require batteries. You had Trijicon ACOGs, you have this old school freaking like Colt 4X optic that could be mounted onto a charging rail. Grenade launchers don't require batteries. This is all very battery free. To include the iron sights that are built on this. Iron sights being great in the fact they don't require batteries, but being not so great in the fact that if it gets a little dark, you can't see the iron sights. You can't have illumination settings on there. There's a lot of limitations to iron sights. Good to know how to shoot with, but with how fast technology is advancing, being able to get shots on target rapidly and accurately over distance is sort of a big deal. So I've got an old school sort of kit going on. This is actually a Mitch, but I dressed it up to look like a pesky, because that is just cool. So, times have changed. I think we're going from the 3 Bs, it's not funny, to the 4 Bs. There's a 4th B, which if there's 4 Bs in your house, that is 4 too many. You should have no Bs in your house. But the 4th B, I think, is going to have to be batteries. Because you could use iron sights, but you probably don't want to. Batteries are kind of interesting because a lot of optics are designed to run for years, possibly plural, on a single battery, which is pretty cool. So let me take these 0 dexterity gloves off. This is very old school. I had a pair of these. I had the short ones when I was in. I think the long ones are really sweaty, but they're Kevlar, sweat resistant, fire resistant, all that cool stuff. So yeah, previously you're running a kit more akin to this. A bunch of magazines, an easy chest rig, a basic little helmet. I like the slick look. We'll be talking about that here in a bit. And of course we had our classic M4. And yeah, so you don't need a whole lot of batteries. You might have just needed batteries for your old school L-shaped torch, as they call it in Britain. I think we call it a flashlight in Freedom Land. But yeah, so I'm going to take this backpack off and we're going to talk about 3 particular solutions that I have had time to sort of mess around with and look into. So, let me actually drop this chest rig too. We're not going to need the chest rig. That was just me showing you a kit without batteries. Because times have changed. And they will continue to change. Kind of scary, right? But, so yeah, now, your more average rifle looks a bit more like this guy. So, when you're looking at this, obviously, magnifier, doesn't use batteries, pretty cool. EOTech, let's see. Yeah, this battery's still good. Get your EOTech, which one was this? The XPS, EXPS, I can't remember. They've got a lot of numbers. I don't really pay too much attention to it. I just know this is the one I like. 3.0, uses a single CR123 battery. Got a D-ball, or a little aiming laser. A 123 battery right here in the front. We got our Surefire light. Pew! This one, the longer, the 640, that uses 2 CR123 batteries. So 4 batteries. 4 batteries on a blaster alone, which is not bad. if we want to shoot at night, if we want to make sure we're shooting the right guys, yeah, make sure you identify your target before you just start going dot, 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 and hoping for the best. That's why a light's important. Laser for aiming in the dark, you got night vision, and of course, passive aiming, really important. And this EOTech means even in the dark, if it's really, really dark, I can still, you know where I'm aiming and not be just firing randomly in the dark. Sounds and all that stuff. So 4 batteries on the blaster alone. Pretty intense if you bring your sidearm. Probably gonna have at least a light on it. That light, again, Sierra 123. 2 of them, in fact. So there was up to 6 batteries. And you gotta have a battery in your red dot sight, which is super useful for getting really fast, accurate shots. And, not trying to line up these weird bumpy things that come on the firearm. Ugh, I don't understand. Being facetious. But yeah, you want to be able to point your red dot, pop, 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 and get rounds on target. And of course, again, make sure you're shooting the right guys and the bad guys, not your buddy good guys, or even just normal neutral guys. Have your flashlight. Pew, pow, pow, pow. Fun stuff. But yeah, batteries. And then the helmets, brother. The helmets. You gotta have your ear pro so you can communicate with your guys and be able to protect your hearing, because you only get 1 hearing. So that's 2. These are AAA batteries, I think. Yeah, I think these are AAA. I'm gonna have to open this in a minute. Let me see. Yeah, AAA batteries in there. Make sure you're using lithium, by the way. Some people don't know this. Lithium and alkaline batteries are your 2 main batteries that people got. And lithium batteries explode, air quotes, if you're like stabbing them repeatedly with a knife. But for the most part, they don't have weird leakage issues like alkaline batteries. Alkaline batteries leak, they damage your electronics. Bad. Lithium batteries don't leak, hold a lot more power, and they're better for your electronics. So if you value your kit, use lithium batteries. So yeah, we need 2 AAA for that. We need a single AA for our little right-mounted helmet light here, a mini Surefire. And then of course we got our more like administrative all-purpose light on the side here. I wouldn't mind taking this guy off because it's sort of, sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't. You got more lights on your weapons. The Zabin light, really good for everything else. Camera uses its own proprietary batteries. However, it can also use 2 CR123. And then of course a single CR123 in our Hellstar, in case we need to identify friend versus foe. Again, make sure we're not shooting the wrong guys. So yeah, lots of electronics on your modern helmets, getting closer to that cybernetic, unstoppable, more machine than man sort of setup. So that's all very neat and cool. So the reason I got the backpack here is because we got 3 options we're going to be looking at. 2 options from Thyrm that I'm pretty much a big fan of. And then something that's a bit funky. Let's start with the Thyrm one. So I got these battery cells. I'm sorry. Battery cells. It sounds like how people sell on the end of everything, and it's a meme, and I never thought about it till I just said it now. So battery cells for people who are Sigma battery maxing. We got these basic ones. So I got these annotated AAA and CR123. Really simple. Thyrm. You got your little seals there to help with the water resistance. This can sit in a single piece of moly. Well, I think it's like 2, yeah. So it fits on 2, but it doesn't carry, it doesn't fit perfectly. It's more for like a single space 5. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So you pop this guy open, and we've got 3 batteries in here. So an easy way to carry 3 batteries without using a whole lot of moly. Of course, when you are moving it between the moly, you do have to pop it open. And if you are so inclined, you can zip tie through that little base hole there and around here. And that'll basically make sure it's not going to pop open or get taken or anything crazy like that. So these are pretty simple. And like I said, so I got some moly here on the side of the pack. This is going to be our pack for this video. I'm going to cover everything. So you pop that open, slide it through 1, slide it through 2. You can't quite slide it through 3, but as you can see, there is still a gap down here after the second one. And that means it can do this motion and drive you insane. However, if it was 1, 2, 3, 4, single-spaced 4, then we could lock it all the way in, and we wouldn't have to worry about that. This is going to be a recurring issue. Now, same battery case, but this time with AAA batteries. You can pop it open here. The bottom ones get stuck, but it holds 4. You can see there's still 2 in there. Just hiding out, and 2 here. This one is, if you're only carrying a single type of battery, there we go. Got all 4. If you're carrying a single type of battery, these little cases are pretty phenomenal. They do make a wider case. I do not own one. Never really found a need for it. But these, because they're smaller and easy to carry, I generally keep these in my EDC pack. Backpack I take everywhere, because sometimes me and my buddy, we end up finding a cool cave or something wild, and we want to be able to explore it. And if our headlamps or whatever go out, then quick battery replacements are key. So that's pretty neat. Big fan of that. Before we go on to the solution I am a big fan of, let's cover one that was hanging out on the market for quite some time that is a bit interesting. So you see these every now and then, and you go, oh cool, battery magazines. And I'd be like, yeah, Battery Mag would be a really cool name. But for some reason, they called it Battery Clip. So same over here. That might be easier to read. Yeah, they call it Battery Clip. I'm guessing to make a lot of people on the internet very upset, but I'm going to call them Battery Mags. I mean, they don't feed into a plasma rifle or anything cool like that. Plasma submachine gun, plasma pistol, plasma rifle mags. But instead, these are the only 2 I know of. I don't think they make another one, but this one holds CR123 batteries, and it's got a nice little yellow indicator. So this one's missing too, because I had to swap out batteries over the years. But it holds up to 8. So you can put 8 batteries in here, and this guy holds 10 AA batteries. So similar idea. You hold a single type of battery, but now it's in a very long submachine gun type magazine stick. And yeah, what's cool is you can actually just press down on here and feed a battery forward. And bam, I got my battery. So if you're running nods that burn batteries like it's cool, then these are a nice thing to throw in your backpack and have ready to go at a moment's notice. Until you gotta try putting the battery back in, at which point it all starts to come undone. There we go. And same concept here, you just push your thumb back on here, slide that forward, and bam, battery. Battery. And then putting it back in, of course, is a whole ordeal. I think I could get it. There we go. So, if you're burning through a lot of batteries, and there's not a wet environment, if you're in like a desert or something, these are easy to throw into a little bag. You can probably get a little custom Krydex made. You can just quick feed batteries from right here. Just, oh, I need 2 batteries. Boop, boop. Cool. So if you're only using one type of battery and you're gonna burn through them a lot, these are nice unless there's some any form of water or anything around you to cause problems. Now, all that said, we come to our solution I'm a fan of, which is, what if I want to carry more than one type of battery, but not multiple cases? What if I want to have the batteries for the equipment I'll need, AA, AAA, and CR123, but I don't want to carry all sorts of crazy stuff. Oh yeah, and the 3032 freaking cell batteries. Yeah, those 2. Those for the RMR. And that's the only thing. I know a lot of the LPVOs and certain optics can use them too, but if you wanted to use all of those things, the good news is Thyrm also has a solution for that. And that is this little battery case, whose name I'm forgetting. The Cell Vault, right, the Cell Vault. Now, similar concept. It's got the, this one holds on 2 bits. It still has the same 4 bits of Molly slide, because it's not perfect. It's so close, but it's... Actually, if I crunch that, I can actually fit it through all of them. Let me try that real quick. Hold on, everyone stand by for a second. He's doing something crazy. This one's a bit harder to access once it's locked down. You don't need to generally access it once it's locked down. you can just pop it open as is for the most part. Come on, use. Okay. It doesn't want to cooperate. Why is this? Oh, there we go. There's one. There's two. All right. I don't think it's gonna work, guys. Oh. If you really, really can't stand it shaking around, you can force it, and there we go. No more shake. So let's actually, now that I've done that, we're gonna pop it off so we can take a closer look at it. Ah. So. I only got two hands. So this one, I really like this one. It's a little bit wider, but it could hold a bunch. So as you can see here, we've got AA, CR123s, and AAA batteries. Those are not the only ones you can load in here, as I covered the ones I needed. Yeah, so you can also carry 1865s and 18350s, which are batteries I've seen, I've held them, I've inventoried them, but I've never used them, so these are the main three. But if you look back here, you'll see 4 disc, because it holds 4 3032 disc batteries for your RMR and LPVOs and all that stuff. And of course, you still got your locking components up here. This time there's 2 of them, so if it's mounted on your molly and you don't want people accessing it, you can zip tie those, you can run mini locks through them, and then you wouldn't be able to pop this open and get access to it. So not only can it not be removed from your bag or plate carrier, but it also can't be accessed by anyone you don't want accessing it. Pop that open. Of course, now we've got a very beefy rubber gasket to keep water out, and we've got a bunch of batteries. So there's a few things to note. I think we're carrying 4 of each. Yeah, we got about 4 of each. So it comes with a few battery cases. It doesn't come with the AA. I don't think it comes with the AAA either. So they do make a aftermarket part. As far as your AA batteries go, they have to be up at the top, and they can only use the top 4 locations. I don't know why. They have to be pointed towards the center. There's a little arrow to tell you where. So once these are locked in, you can customize this a lot, which is the thing I'm a big fan of. So we got 4 AA, 4 CR123s, 4 AAA, which fit nicely in a single one. And then there's, let me see, can I pop this guy? Let's just take that one out. And as you can see, we've got our 2032, not 3032, 2032. I'm not great with numbers, but you can see the camera reflected on them. That's cool. So these guys, they can be moved around to wherever you find most optimal. If you need to access them, you can pinch on the sides. This, the CR123 is only pinch from the single sides to access. These ones you can pinch from both sides to remove them. So if you pop this guy, if you need 2 AA batteries, you can pop this guy. There's one in the front, one in the back, and they fit very nicely. Of course, you can see the extra batteries back there. So if you need batteries and you're using a bunch of different types, this is like the ultimate solution. You want more 123s, you don't need as many AAs, take one of the AAs out, add more CR123s. You can customize this to carry whatever type of battery you want in as many batteries as you want. Then you just seal it back up, easy peasy, lock it onto your plate carrier. You can access it, so while this is mounted, like let's say I'm special, I wear a shiny on my collar and I want to mount my batteries up here. Then all I can do is just pop forward. This is going to stay locked on my plate carrier, and I can just access my batteries looking really goofy, because that's what people with shiny on their collars like to do, is goofy stuff. Close that back up, pa-kink, and we are set. So it's kind of like a roundabout way. This is the main thing I wanted to review, but there's been a variety of ways of carrying batteries, not just throwing them all in a plastic bag, giving it the thumbs up, and hoping for the best. So yeah, those are the 3 main ways I've used to transport and carry batteries. It's always good to have batteries on you. Like I said, they're going to be our 4th B instead of just beans, bullets, and band-aids. So pretty important, pretty cool stuff. So this, if I keep this on me, I will never run out of batteries. I will always have batteries for anything I might need them for. To include a classic Game Boy. Did I put it back in the closet? I put my Game Boy somewhere. I set it down because I wanted to put it in this video. I'll put it in the next video. It's not as important. But yeah, so since everything nowadays tends to run with a lot of batteries. Oh yeah, here's the inserts for those other two battery types. This is your long one. These are your, I kind of want to be CR123, but not really batteries. And yeah, these sit vertically, or yeah, vertically, and this one sits horizontally like the rest. So kind of cool. And there's little teeth back there to keep it from moving, helping lock it into the system. And yeah, as you can see, there's your there's a single tab here, so that's where that locks in. This locks it on this side. You remove it like so. This one, same thing, but it's on, well, it's mostly this side, but you can grab both, push that in, pop it out. And that's pretty much it. So batteries are cheap in the military, not so much for the everyday civilian market. So if you're going to be doing anything crazy, for the most part, it's always good to put in new batteries. If you're going to be doing a night raid, you don't want your night vision flickering with a little light that's like, hey, I need new batteries. You should have put in new ones. If you're going to be risking your life, then it helps not to risk it on batteries. You want to control as many variables as possible. Operational risk management, everyone loves it. That's why they say ORM for everything. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So when you're wearing your extremely heavy, well, I guess it's not extremely heavy, but heavier, modern, more gizmoified helmet, as the cool kids call it. And by the cool kids, I mean people who still unironically prefer iron sights to optics. Slap that on, yeah. We're looking slick. Alright, got the Mickey Mouse ears. We're going to close that up. I'm not turning them on, so my voice is all jacked up. Sounds all funky. Light. Light. Hellstar. Camera. And action. Oh, I didn't throw the night vision on. You get the idea. Things in modern day use a lot more battery. So, unless you like being caught in the dark, then if you don't want to carry batteries, but you still want to be able to see, your solution comes down to chem lights. This one is yellow. Isn't that exciting? It used to be green, red, and blue. Now we got yellow and all these other fun colors. So you can put them on 550 cord and do your tactical raves. Yeah, classic. So that is the video for today. Appreciate everyone who stopped by. I got my fun Coco shirt. Sadly not sponsored, but maybe one day. Again, special shout out to the Patreons for the channel. We got the Weepy Lamb and Dark Magic 96. Two of my friends who've been supporting the channel for a hot minute, and they help make these videos possible. Additionally, there was I had another thing I wanted to go. Oh yeah, there's also the gaming channel. I am streaming most days out of the week. If you want to watch like Helldivers 2 or some classic games like Metal Slug or Mega Man 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe even 8. I don't know. And I think I want to do some Sonic the Hedgehog at some point. But yeah, there's a streaming channel. There's also a gaming channel that all the VODs go to. And yeah, I've got a few more reviews I want to be looking at. So this one might take a minute to finish, but to a certain individual who recommended it, we will be talking about this guy shortly. So cheers everyone, stay chivalrous, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye bye.